Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Jerry Nadler goes off on this insane rant about Elon Musk, but Jim Jordan comes down and absolutely slaps him with an amazing speech that might make Nadler reconsider his entire political career. Let's dive in.
To ensure that no one is able to hold the administration accountable from within the executive branch, the president fired more than a dozen inspectors general without following the statutory requirements for doing so. These actions are as unconstitutional as they are dangerous. While we witness these incursions on the rule of law and the Constitution, my Republican colleagues do nothing. In fact, they cheer on Elon Musk as he usurps congressional authority and arrogates unprecedented power to himself. When Joe Biden was president, we heard stirring speeches from our Republican friends about the need to assert our Article I authority. We were told that the Biden administration was guilty of dangerous overreach when it attempted to help people drowning in student loans, or protected our communities from gun violence, or helped shield consumers from corporate abuse. But now that is ancient history. Now they aid and abet shadow President Musk while he bulldozes his way through the administrative state, untethered to any congressional statute or authorization. There is no check and no balance from the Republican Congress, just feckless inaction because it serves their purposes. They know that undermining the critical protections provided by our agencies would be deeply unpopular, so they are content to abdicate their responsibilities and let Elon Musk do their dirty work. I urge my Republican colleagues to stand up for this institution and for the people they represent. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. I now recognize Chairman of the full committee, Mr. Jordan, for his opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Instead of stopping the stupid spending, Democrats attack the guy who's exposing it. I think the taxpayers of this country would just as soon we stop spending their money on dumb things. Like what was the example from USAID, some transgender comic in Ireland spending money on Bert and Ernie and Big Bird on Baghdad TV. I think they would prefer we not do that. Elon Musk is exposing in the federal government exactly what he exposed at Twitter when he purchased Twitter. What did we find out there? Big government was pressuring big tech to censor Americans. And you don't have to take my word for it. We had the Twitter files. Oh, and we also had someone else in big tech send a letter to this committee and tell us exactly what they were doing. Mark Zuckerberg said the Biden administration was pressuring us to censor. We did it. We're sorry. We won't do it again. Told the whole world that in a letter to this committee. So Elon Musk is now doing that for the federal government. We think that's a good thing. And to understand the fundamental difference the left has with us conservatives. Democrats believe it is the career elected bureaucrats who are supposed to run the country. We don't think that's the way it's supposed to work. We actually think it's the people who put their name on a ballot who get elected by we the people who make the decisions. And the guy who got 77 million votes on November 5th says he wants Elon Musk working for him, the elected member who heads the executive branch working for him, every bit as much as the federal employees, the people in Treasury who are supposed to have all the answers, or in USAID who be the career officials, working for him to expose stupid things our government is spending money on. And the Democrats are going to attack that guy? Go ahead. Go right ahead. But we know the real consequences of having this administrative state, these bureaucrats run things. We got two witnesses here who've lived it. Ms. Wade and Mr. Smith. They're here to tell about how that had impacted their business. So I appreciate the chairman having this hearing. This is exactly the kind of hearing we have to have. And I appreciate the work the president and his team are doing to expose the stupid things bureaucrats spend the hard-earned money of the people we get the privilege of representing. I yield back.
That really is the long and short of it now, isn't there? The fact that the Democratic Party, in the entirety of their party too, even John Fetterman gets in on this, they're all out here complaining that Elon Musk is basically recommending that Donald Trump cut or freeze spending in just a handful of places in our federal government. And they're out here losing their minds about this. I guess that's not going according to plan. But the reality is, they're trying to drum up a constitutional crisis, and they have a small point to make, because Elon Musk is not elected. That is true. He is not a part of an official government agency that has been created by Congress. This is also true. However, what what this probably is going to wind up being is if it ever goes to the Supreme Court, and if what Donald Trump has been cutting ever does go to the Supreme Court as well, they will have to rule based on precedent that Trump is actually operating in his own purview, and Musk is basically working as an advisor, basically as a government contractor. So wherever he's getting the money, I don't know if he's doing it pro bono, but I think that's how an actual court system would look at the issue. So it's going to once again be just a giant nothing burger, and the Democrats are going to be left holding the bag. Not that I have anything wrong with that. Not that I have a problem with that. You see, what they're wanting right now is to they want to keep their jobs. So, in order to do that in Democrat politics, you have got to scream bloody murder every time something doesn't go your way, so you can virtue signal to the people back home, look, I'm doing something. When the reality is, they can't do anything. A lot of them don't want to do anything, and might even secretly agree with what Musk is doing, because a lot of the Democrats have fundamentally understood that their policies for decades don't end up working. For instance, from a historical perspective, the Great Society that LBJ tried to create, which was sort of a continuation of the FDR legacy, has been fundamentally dismantled. The only remaining major social safety nets that was originally designed to work not only completely failed, but the only ones left are pretty much FDIC, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. And by the way, the last time we tried to reform Social Security, everyone lost their minds, and the Democrats were able to make a lot from that opportunity. It was back in 2005, and the GOP had the guts to say that Social Security was going to become a huge problem in the next 20 years. And we've got to figure out how to either reform the program, or we're going to be in trillions and trillions in debt. Well, they tried to do something, and it scared the voters so much that they started voting for Democrats in droves. That's one of the reasons Barack Obama ended up winning in 2008. It wasn't just the financial crisis. The Republicans didn't govern effectively, and ultimately didn't start cutting the waste and cutting the spending and cutting the actual problems that have led to this just bloated balloon of a corpse that is our federal government. We have got to deal with these problems. We have got to rein in our spending, and almost by any means necessary at this point. Trying to defend how bloated our government has become is now a common Democrat talking point, and it is absolutely insane. These are the same people who are out here screaming that, oh, we're trying to protect the Constitution, we're trying to protect democracy. Well, remember the Twitter files? And I'm bringing up the Twitter files on purpose, not just because of Elon Musk, but that's when the left in America realized that, oh, we've messed up. And the handful of actual leftists, particularly in journalism like Matt Taibbi, who was a huge anti-Bush guy in his early days, has now come forward and said, yeah, the federal government has way too much power, and here's all the information that I have on the issue. The federal government has been caught literally censoring speech, particularly in the 2020 election. So when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he uncovered a whole lot of problems, and it has done nothing but good things for the American people, because that was the beginning of the dismantling of the deep state. And I don't like using the term the deep state, but that's probably the best way to describe the whole situation. Because once Twitter was free from the shackles of the federal government, they were able to start exposing things. People had more of a say. People had a larger voice, because before Elon Musk, remember, Twitter was notorious for throttling conservative accounts. And so after Musk buys Twitter and reveals just how deep this rabbit hole goes, all of a sudden the Democrats realize, oh, we've got an Elon Musk problem. And they've never forgiven him for it. And when Elon Musk realized how bad the situation was, he slowly came into the Trump sphere. And what is Trump's mantra here? Reform, use your rhetoric in order to get what you want, and more importantly, make America great again. Elon Musk understands that fundamental idea. And so I am not just fully on board with the Department of Government Efficiency. I'm not just here for the memes. I'm here because I'm worried about our debt. I'm worried about our tax dollars. I'm worried about where our money is going. And Democrats, for some reason, are defending the indefensible. And they're screaming at the top of their lungs. And at some point, Jim Jordan in this video just comes down and reminds them that, hey, the sky isn't falling. You have let this problem become an absolute, you've let this tumor metastasize, and now we've got to cut it out. Okay? That's what's going on here. And so ultimately, we have got to cut out the tumors that are threatening to metastasize and cause literal cancer throughout the rest of the country. And I'm quite literally talking about the bloat in our federal government. We've got to trim that fat. We've got to give this thing liposuction. And Elon Musk is here to do the surgery. And I am all for it. Jim Jordan understands it. And Jerry Nadler, bless his heart, I don't think he knows any better. But again, even if he wanted to tell the truth, he would be in trouble with his own constituents. So folks, buckle up. It's about to get even more fun from this point forward. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.